In this video, we are looking at how to verify the sum and difference trigonometric identities. And we start with this one for 10. And when I see this one, all I need to do is to identify the identity which I'm going to use. And I'm going to use the one at the bottom. And now, all I need to do is to get my values in. So this is going to be, I'm going to be doing the left hand side. So I'm going to write tan of 180 degrees minus theta is going to be the same as tan 180 degrees minus tan of theta. And here, remember, 180 is A and theta is B over 1 plus tan A, which is, so tan of 180 degrees, and then tan theta. And then I just need to use my unit circle to get the values. So tan of 180 is 0. And then minus tan of theta minus 1 plus tan of 180 is 0. So I'm going to multiply that by tan of theta. So tan of theta, and see all that becomes, when I simplify, see all that becomes 0, and I'm just left with minus tan theta. Because the top, I have 0 minus tan theta, and here I'm going to write verified. Okay, and come to the second one. So here we are given the sine function. So what am I going to use? So I have sine 180 minus. So I'm going to use the second one. So I'm going to write it out here. So now moving on. So since I know which identity to use, I'm just going to write sine of 180 minus theta is going to equal to sine of 180 cos theta minus cosine of 180, and then sine theta. And then all I need to do is to, remember I'm doing the left hand side because there's nothing I can do with the right hand side. It's already simplified. So now I go to the sine of 180, which is 0. And I'm going to multiply that by, cosine of theta. So I just write cosine of theta minus cosine of 180. And cosine of 180 is -1. And then sine of theta. And when I simplify, see all this becomes 0 plus sine of theta. So, and then I just get sine of theta. That's the answer. So it's verified. So I just write verified. For this example, I'm given the sine of 270. So what identity am I going to use? Sine of theta plus 270. So I'm going to use the first one. Then I just need to come here and write it out. Sine of theta plus 270 is going to equal to sine of theta cosine of, not theta but b, which is 270 degrees, plus cosine of theta, and then sine of 270. And now I just need to simplify. So this one just remains sine of theta. And we are going to multiply that by cosine of 270, which is going to be, which is 0. Then cosine of theta and sine of 270, which I know is -1. So now, see, this is all 0 plus negative cosine of theta, and we get negative cosine of theta, which is the right hand side. So I'll just write there, verified. For the next example, I just have to know what identity to use. So I'm going to use cosine plus, so that's the one I'm going to use. And now I just need to write cosine of theta plus 180 degrees, that's what I'm given, is equals to cosine of theta cosine of 180 degrees minus sine of theta and sine of 180 degrees. And all I need to do now is to simplify about doing the left hand side. So cosine of theta, just write it as it is. Then cosine of 180 is equals to -1 minus, then sine of theta, and sine of 180 is 0. See, all this becomes 0, and this becomes negative cosine of theta minus 0. Okay, so we just get negative cosine of theta. See, that looks like the right hand side, so I'm just going to write there, verify. And that's how to do the verification of some difference identities. You just have to have the identities at hand, just look at them, and then use them to simplify to get the other side.